Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to hold someone accountable to supersize and grow your business. How about if we hold ourselves accountable to supersizing and growing our business? Our idiom, our expression today is to hold someone accountable. It's tying into our annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, where this month we're focusing on No Nonsense November. Every day, I'm sharing just kind of a hard lifelong lesson that I've learned. Usually I've learned these lessons the hard way, but once I had the epiphany or discovered that universal truth in these things that I'm sharing this month, my life got a whole lot easier and a whole lot less complicated and normally a whole lot less chaotic, although I'm traveling for the next month or so and everything so far has been chaotic. Traveling with my daughter and my granddaughter for a while and doing some other things. So Donna, my mom's visiting in Texas, which is always awesome. But today let's talk about how do you hold someone accountable, specifically in your business when you've brought them into your organization, either as a strategic partner or as a regular partner or a vendor, a supplier, a customer even. We want to make sure that we are holding our customers accountable to the things that they need to do, because usually when we're doing business with someone, it's an exchange of value, but they have to actually take action or do something in order to get the results that they're looking for that they came to us wanting to achieve. So I found a list of 11 different ways to hold someone accountable for something, especially in our business. And of course, the number one thing is we need to, as leaders, hold ourselves accountable first, right? We need to set the example and show the way and be the example of how we expect. It also helps us clarify our expectations, people to behave, what we expect them to do, how often, and especially with specific projects. Well, what is timely deliverables? To me, it's either on time or it's not. If it's not on time, I better know about it ahead of time. That's an expectation sharing. So first and foremost, we need to set the example. The speed of the pack is definitely determined by the speed of the leader. And if you aren't demonstrating and doing the things that you expect other people to do, you can have a heck of a hard time getting people to do things that you say you want them to do, but you're not necessarily doing yourself. One of the biggest things in corporate America, and the biggest things even outside of corporate America, is the ability to be on time. It doesn't cost us anything to be on time, but to be late shows disrespect for the other party that you're meeting or that you've got an agreement with. And if we don't keep our little agreements, chances are we're not keeping our big agreements. Let's grab my magnifying glass. Brought my giant magnifying glass. Number two, set clear expectations. Kind of talked about that and touched on that already. People should always know what to expect from you, and you should know what you can expect from them. And that comes by communicating your expectations. Number three, instead of solving problems for people, because if somebody comes to you with a problem over and over again and you solve it for them versus empathizing and coaching them through how to solve those type problems themselves, you will forever have to be the problem solver for everyone in your organization. And that makes it almost impossible to grow and supersize. So instead of solving problems and telling people the answer, let them come to the answer themselves. Does it take a little longer sometimes? Yes, but it's so worth it. Number four, make sure that you provide the necessary resources or get the necessary resources for whatever project or thing, the something that you're holding someone accountable for. If they don't have the resources available that they need, and it may be time, money, energy, other people's expertise, it could be a whole bunch of different things that people need in order to get the result that you're looking for. But make sure you get them access to those resources. Address poor performance as soon as possible. I say address great performance as soon as possible too. Make sure you're acknowledging when people do a terrific job so that they'll keep doing it, and make sure that if people aren't performing and meeting expectations, that they know about it right away as well. You don't wait and stew and then finally give somebody the bad information that you're really disappointed in them. You tell them all along the way, hey, you missed this deadline on Tuesday. I need to make sure that you're going to have it done tomorrow or Wednesday or by Friday or whatever. Be really clear and praise in public, reprimand or give feedback in private. It's a very good life lesson too. We should probably have a whole day about that. Set SMART goals. We've talked about SMART goals before. We're not going to run through them here. But you have to have goals and targets that everyone's working for if you expect everybody to be working toward anything. Provide data and information so people know how they're doing. They know, are they getting the results that we're expecting in a particular project or in an endeavor, or do we need to make some tweaks and changes in order to get the results that we want? A consistent ongoing feedback. We need to provide consistent ongoing feedback to the people that we're holding accountable, and that means to ourselves as well, right? We have to be looking for ways to measure and give ourselves feedback so that we know if we're making progress or not. Number 9, embrace mistakes. This is a biggie, and a lot of times it's because we're not embracing mistakes in ourselves that we are pushing back and not accepting mistakes in other people. So there's 2 lessons to be learned in that one. Know that it's okay to make mistakes. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes no matter what. We're going to mess up and have to do something different, or, heaven forbid, apologize for the screw up that we made. But embrace those mistakes and take the lessons from them so you don't make at least the same mistake over and over and over again. 10, don't lower your work standards no matter what. Stick with and match your core values to what it is you hold yourself accountable to and what you hold other people accountable to. One of the best things about being able to understand and tap into our core values, what's really, really important to us, is it makes it easy to make decisions. It makes us easy to decide among all the billions of projects and possible things we could do to pick and choose the things that feel right and are right for us in the business that we're building. And finally, if a person does not improve, if their performance doesn't improve, you're doing all these things above, you have to make the hard call, and you have to know when to say no, or when to say enough, or when to cut ties, because everybody isn't suited to everything, right? Maybe you can find a better fit for them in your organization, or maybe not. Maybe it's time to go your separate ways. But if somebody isn't doing these things and isn't being accountable, you cannot have them be a part of your organization, because it doesn't take long for one person making excuses and complaining and moaning to negatively impact your culture. And that is never good for business. All right, love to know your experience with this particular idiom, hold someone accountable for something. How well do you think you do that? Do you hold people accountable? Do you delegate and then hold people accountable in ways that address these 11 things? Or do you just say, here, it's your baby, run with it, and then we'll see how you're doing, and then beat them up because it's not done, already? All right, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.